We got Justin back. He's sitting in the shuffling pose.
So do you know a lot about Justin's list? I haven't seen him played very much.
So there's definitely at least 2 Manectric EX of the basic, probably 2 of the Mega Manectric. We got 2 Seismitoads. There's a trump card, 2 Lysanders. Ray wasn't sure if there was 2 or 3 Versus Seeker, and I'm kind of a 3 or 4 Versus Seeker person, so I'm hoping there's 3 because I'd like my beliefs to win the event.
And he plays, if he plays Toads, he must play the Malamar, right?
He plays the Malamar, yeah,
okay.
yeah. So the Malamar allows Justin to put his energy into play, put his opponent to sleep, and then Aromatisse will let him move the energy to a relevant attacker.
Yeah, this is going to be really hard for Tristan. He really needs to start Seismitoad, get a really quick Quaking Punch, I think.
Yeah, does Tristan run Keldeo?
I'm not sure.
So I'm getting a nod no. It looks like Tristan doesn't run Keldeo X. So Keldeo being able to use Russian to eliminate a status condition and then use Darkrai's Dark Cloak to let Keldeo retreat for free with single dark energy attached is a really strong way for Tristan to try and lock this game down. It would cut Justin off from his Manectric Spirit Links, which are important in this matchup, and it would cut him off from his Max Potions.
So did you know Tristan just got his invite by top 4ing?
Oh, congrats to Tristan.
Yeah, congrats to Tristan.
Tristan's going to show up to Worlds, and maybe if you're out there watching this, you can play against him at Worlds.
Yeah. I'm not sure how many points Justin's at. I know he hasn't played very much this season, but the couple tournaments he's been at, he's done very well.
Yeah, Justin is such a strong player. His siblings both play. His brother, Zach, actually top 4'd Worlds one year, and Justin has kind of bullied him like, oh, you should have won that matchup. You should have won that matchup. But it happens. It happens either way.
All right, so we see a mulligan here from Justin, and it looks like Tristan started Seismitoad.
Okay.
I didn't catch who is going first or not.
So we're gonna try and get next level with Justin here, right? He showed 2 Versus Seekers in the hand that he mulliganed away. The cool thing is they're from different sets. Versus Seeker has shown up in 3 sets. Justin used the 2 newest ones in the hand he mulliganed away. So if we see a classic Versus Seeker, we would know that Justin plays 3. So we see the Supreme Victor's one. So he still might only play 2. If we see a second Supreme Victor's one, we know he plays 3.
Right. Good observations there.
So this is one of those things that if you're playing in Pokemon tournaments, you can learn about your opponents. For those of you that play Magic the Gathering, it's going to be like watching out for like what art someone's mountains or swamps or whatever are. Okay, so we got a Laser Verbank head, so we got a Sleeping Manectric EX.
Pretty big.
It's good to have it asleep. It might not be enormous.
All right, so we see a Dark and a Muscle Band. So Tristan setting up for the turn 2 Quaking Punch. Looks like he has another. Okay, Ultra Ball probably getting a Jirachi here.
J-Man. Yeah, so he's gonna Stellar Guidance for Juniper because he doesn't have Empoleon tricks. What does every deck need? Empoleon tricks. So I'm probably paranoid, but I sit there in Tristan's position and be like, oh no, now that I have additional Pokemon to play, I'm susceptible to getting Lysandered and not Quaking Punching.
Okay.
It's not bad though, because what could Justin possibly do given his deck? Like, oh, Lysander pass? No, that's no good.
Yeah, I think getting Lysandered here is fine. It means Justin didn't have anything else better to do on his turn. I also don't know what a switch escape rope count that Tristan plays, but you gotta imagine he runs at least 2, if not 3.
Yeah.
Alright, so we just see a pass.
So wakes up, takes 30 from poison.
Right. Looks like we'll see a Fan Club this turn from Justin. What do you think he'll get? Spritzy? Manectric?
There's no Fairy Garden. Yeah, Spritzy Manectric is okay. It's unfortunate he just can't go deeper and get more resources going for him.
Yeah. This is the one danger about playing Aromatisse in general, is that sometimes it's slow. It's slow to set up. It can really just get aggroed out by Yveltal sometimes. Yeah. So Justin's performing that first deck search. He's going to learn a lot about what his prize cards are. So I think he might go Keldeo EX and Spritzy. Oh, Justin does run a Keldeo. Justin runs a Keldeo. Oh, okay, double Spritzy's good too, because it means that
Lysander and attach, he can't get Quaking Punched out of a possible Aromatisse next turn.
Right.
So Tristan doesn't know whether or not Justin has Aromatisse, and Justin's sending a very strong signal that he does, even though I don't think that he does.
Correct.
And so...
where does this attachment go? I feel like it has to go on Manectric.
I think it has to go active, because it's going to get like some ping damage, which is cool. But also, anyone else is just too fragile. Like, either one of those Spritzies is a target, why make one of them a better target?
Right. So this is about as good a start as Tristan could have asked for, I think, assuming he has the Dark Energy to Quaking Punch.
It seems like he's just got so many cards in his hand. It'd be tough for him not to.
Yeah. I don't know. I saw worse whiffs today.
That's true. So I think Tristan has an escape rope in his hand. The thing about escape roping here is Spritzy is resistant to dark, so even the muscle banded Yveltal would not be able to get a KO. But it looks like Tristan has Junipered, so he's going to have a whole bunch of new cards.
And I think that's better, that the poison damage builds up on the Manectric.
It is. It absolutely is.
It's a little unfortunate. He doesn't get a Dark Energy, so he has to waste a DCE, but getting the Quaking Punch is
energy
important.
switch. Yeah, Quaking Punch is important. So yeah, so this means with an energy switch, it means he could retreat for free and then boost up somebody else. If Tristan's running 2 Toads, that one Toad could turn into the second one with a free retreat there. So Justin plays N. They're both going to get 6 cards because they both have 6 prizes still.
I think a big part, this game is really going to come down to this N if Justin can draw some good stuff on it. If he can't, he's going to be really far behind.
So it's easy to say if he does. There's a lot of little things that could go his way. An Ultra Ball, a Keldeo, an Aromatisse, Fairy Garden,
no Ultra Ball. He's Quaking Punched.
Oh, that's true. Okay, so I've named one card that actually doesn't solve any problems. Okay, so Fairy Garden and Aromatisse. He wants to retreat, but for what?
To what? He didn't get another basic. Maybe sack the other Spritzy?
I think you sack the second Spritzy. Maybe even you attach energy to the second Spritzy so you can use the first attack and get like heal 20 from the Manectric. I think it's bad, but it could be worse.
I think Tristan's pretty content just Quaking Punching
forever.
For as long as he can.
So yeah, Justin's debating whether or not he wants to retreat. I think retreating is the way to go. The energy are the scarce resource here.
Justin doesn't play the Geomancy Xerneas.
He does.
Oh, he does run one?
He runs one.
Okay.
At least one?
At least one. And he must run Rainbow Energies?
He also runs Rainbows, yeah. So he can use he also runs Lightning.
And do you know how many Lightning? 1 or 2, something like that?
It's probably 1, maybe 2.
Okay.
I really like the 2 because there's been some metal floating around that has the ability to not take damage from guys with special energy cards.
Yeah. There was a bit more metal today than I expected.
Yeah.
At least 4 or 5, maybe a couple more than that. We see a Muscle Band to the Darkrai, followed by an N from Tristan.
So the reason that I think Tristan's Muscle Banding to Darkrai is just because Darkrai is his EX attacker that is going to do big damage and is not weak to lightning.
Right.
Every tool he puts into play, though, makes the regular Manectric a bigger threat.
Right. Which could be relevant.
It could be.
The good thing is that Manectric, in particular, as long as Tristan keeps Quaking Punching, it is never getting Max Potioned.
It's not getting Max Potioned, and
it can't Spirit Link and Evolve.
Can't Spirit Link and Evolve, but it could just regular Mega Evolve and just be enormous.
It looks like...
Okay, now we're going for the Xerneas play.
Okay, so Justin kind of has 2 options this turn. He can either Geomancy, and it looks like he has the Mega Manectric, so he could Mega Evolve.
I don't think you want to Mega Evolve a guy who's got that much damage.
No, I agree. So it looks like Geomancy will be it. I wonder who his second basic will be. Perhaps the Malamar?
Maybe. It feels bad because you're not getting the use of Malamar's effect. I don't think he has a fairy in his hand, does he?
No, I don't think so. Looks like Keldeo, maybe.
Yeah,
which makes sense.
Good. Keldeo's difficult to KO. He's going to solve some status effect problems for you. I think Justin should move the fairy over to Keldeo before he does Geomancy, because it makes Keldeo a bigger target, but why lose energy to a Lysander?
Well, doing it this way, he spreads all of his energy out.
Yeah, but I don't know how Tristan gets the knockout on
a Keldeo.
Yeah,
he doesn't have an Evil EX out.
So if he were to go, so if Tristan were to, instead have gone retreat for free, energy switch from the Dark Ride of the Seismitoad, and then Dark from hand, Lysander, he could actually get the Aromatisse and the Manectric and draw 3 prizes all at once, putting him down to 2, and the game would be over for Justin. Yeah, I've described a crazy scenario that I don't know that Tristan plays the right cards in the deck for, but
certainly plausible.
Yeah, I'm playing like hyper conservatively. Oh, so Tristan plays AZ, so that's an interesting thing to know about his deck. Just that he has the ability to pick up that Jirachi, and it's no longer a liability.
That Xerneas should have 20 more damage on it, correct? 80?
50, yeah, it should be 80, I think. Yeah.
Unless I'm missing a dice.
Oh, I think there's a clear die. There's a clear
it's like pink.
Yeah, I like...
Okay, it's there. Trust us.
We'll just make sure it gets knocked out at the right time.
Right. So Keldeo pretty much nullifies every late... well, I guess that's not true. He needs the Fairy Garden.
He does.
He needs the Fairy Garden back out.
He could just suck it up and discard the 2 energy to retreat Keldeo, and I've done it. I've done it in some really awful scenarios.
Yeah, it's not ideal. We see some rainbow energies. We see another Manectric, which is really important.
That guy is very important. But either way, he's paying 2 to retreat if he goes that route right now.
Yeah, I don't really think it's worth it if you're going to Geomancy again, because the Xerneas is just going to die anyway to a Quaking Punch. It seems like a good play.
So he's at 90. He's not going to get knocked out by poison. He is going to get knocked out by Quaking Punch.
Right.
That is the perfect amount of you're going to get knocked out. So this is going to be a cool turn because Justin's going to move that rainbow to someone he doesn't believe will get knocked out. I think that means Manectric.
I think that means Manectric as well.
And then he's going to Geomancy.
And then he has a lot of energy on the board.
Yeah, susceptible to Leafeon. Tristan does not play Leafeon.
You never know, he plays AZ. He
plays AZ, plays a 1 EV, 1 Leafeon from
and
Plasma.
1 grass.
He doesn't need the grass, he can use a Cullis. I'll allow it. No, but it's a legal effect. Boom, boom.
Alright.
Okay, so he first attaches to Manectric in case he runs out of fairies and might miss on Keldeo.
So we see 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 fairy energy. Is there any in the discard? I don't think so. So I wonder how many Justin plays. Probably not more than 7 or 8.
Yeah, I'm gonna go with 7 because it's probably 7, 4 rainbows, and a lightning.
Let's see, it's 5. Justin has not taken a kill, so 5, 6. Kind of looks like he has 5 prizes. So if I'm Tristan right now, I'm trying to think of where am I going to get my 5 prizes from. So
I agree.
The active Xerneas, bring him down to 4. The damage Manectric will be 2, and then you're really trying to knock out another EX for those last 2 prizes. So I don't know. Does he try going? Does he play an Evil EX? Because
I don't think so. I think Tristan actually has enough of a lead right now that what he could consider doing is get the KO on Xerneas with Quaking Punch, and then if there's not a Spritzy in play, he can use that Dark Ride to get the Aromatisse knockout and then the Manectric knockout. And by getting the double KO, he'll be at 1 prize. And Justin won't have a way to effectively win the game without playing a Spritzy.
Aromatisse, correct.
Yeah, so he's either just going to win a long, drawn-out game that's going to be a feel-bad trade for prizes from there on out, but who cares?
So you see Tristan playing a Mewtwo down. Though does 20 less damage than Evil EX does. Probably better in this matchup. Mewtwo probably better in this matchup just because of the fact that Evil is weak to Manectric. And who knows, Mewtwo...
It's okay, Mewtwo can also get going for just a DCE, which is cool.
and could prove very relevant.
So when Justin attaches the rainbow to that Manectric, it is unlikely he plans on using it, but he could. Right? So he could be in that school of thought that we were in where he's saying, oh, I don't want Tristan to get the
double prize.
Double prize. And I'll just have him knock it out when it's my active. So he's going to make it hard, though, because if he starts Quaking Punching, that will mean that Tristan won't be able to Versus Seeker to grab the Lysander. He's going to have to naturally draw into one.
Okay, so we do see an Assault Laser from Justin to put 120 on the Seismitoad,
So
bring it up to 140 damage.
Oh, it's such a gross amount because Quaking Punch isn't going to do it. I keep wanting to call it Seismic Toss because on Seismitoad.
Yeah, and Justin won't be able to play. Does Justin even run Muscle Bands? This is a big question.
I don't think I've seen one.
Okay. Interesting. The fairy toolbox deck is so tight with space.
Well, it's weird because it seems like it's tight with space, but then if you look at 3 different people's lists, they're all doing different things, and just, it blends together and you're overwhelmed.
Back during Cities, we saw the toolbox decks running Flare Tools, running Hard Charms, and everything and anything.
Yeah, the laundry list of cards is ridiculous. I've seen 2 different Charizards. Like Justin's running a Charizard EX, the Stoke one.
The Stoke one. That's the flip a coin.
Yes, the flip a coin one. We were joking that it flips a coin, and if heads, they get to knock out a Charizard with extra energies on it.
So Tristan does have the Lysander. So he's bringing up the other Manectric.
Okay, so Tristan's planning on going, hey, oh, he's lasering. Maybe he's going to try and Quaking Punch this one.
So there's the 4 prizes that Tristan is trying to get on both the Manectrics.
So Tristan's plan is probably Tails. It doesn't matter if Justin can hit a Fairy Garden for Keldeo.
Yeah, this is a situation where even if he doesn't have the Fairy Garden, he's probably going to pay the 2 energy to retreat. But Tristan is a Lysander and an energy away from winning the game, even if the Manectric goes back to the bench. I wonder if he had the VS Seeker in his hand. Because if he did, I probably would have played it just in fear of the Quaking Punch.
But is fear of Quaking Punch greater than fear of N? Yeah, because Quaking Punch is guaranteed.
So we see a Chorus from Justin.
So Justin's using Chorus. I think he also had a Lysander. The good thing about using the Lysander with Quaking Punch is that there's not enough energy attachment plus energy movement to get you where you need to be. So if he brings up, let's say, the Mewtwo, attaching a Dark could let the Mewtwo retreat for someone, but then couldn't get the energy to Darkrai.
That's why we need Dark Patch.
Yeah, so Dark Patch is a card from old formats, for those of you that didn't play back then, that would is a trainer that would let you attach a Dark Energy from your discard pile to one of your bench Dark Pokemon. It meant that Darkrai using Night Spear on turn 1 was very possible. It wasn't common. I don't want to drive you crazy, but it was possible enough.
It was Smeargle that really did it. So we do see the Fairy Garden from Justin. So he gets to keep all of those energy out in the field.
Ooh, it looks like he's thinking about using Grenade Hammer.
I don't know about that.
So the weird thing is, I'd rather use Grenade Hammer than Secret Sword because... Oh, so Justin's going to promote the damaged one. Okay, good.
So we'll see if Tristan has a VS Seeker or another Lysander and an energy to win the game.
So I'm getting the read on Tristan here that he doesn't look like aha. The aha moment would have been when Justin retreated and had already played a supporter.
Right. Oh, so Tristan plays 2 Darkrai. That's also a little bit different from most Evoltal lists that I've seen recently. Most have dropped to 1, just kind of use it as more for the free retreat than anything else.
It improves his odds in this matchup by quite a lot, though.
Yeah, absolutely. So N to 4, so we won't see a Lysander knockout, but maybe we'll see a Quaking Punch or an Oblivion Wing. Oh, we will see a Quaking Punch. That is really big.
Out of 4 cards, he gets the both. Oh, that's such bad luck for Justin.
That's really big. And I just saw Tristan pick up a computer search from his prizes. So if if Justin doesn't Quaking Punch or end him out of that, I think that will be...
So Justin is trying to ascertain how much trouble is he in. And it's a good amount.
Yeah.
How many energy are left? How many lasers are left? How many Lysanders versus Seekers? So we're seeing 2 Lysanders in discard. It seems unlikely that Tristan is going to run 3. I think Quaking Punch is live.
Pretty safe bet here.
That trump card is not nearly as good in this matchup as it was in the Night March one.
Is that how Justin won those 2 games, by trump carding, Quaking Punching?
One game, Andrew just ran out of cards in his deck. Yeah, that's rough. And another game, Andrew won, despite Night March being Night March, doing millions of damage. And then the third game, it was the Quaking Punch trump card.
That locked him out.
Okay.
I see Juniper. Remember that Justin is Quaking Punch, so he can't play that Computer Surge, can't play the Max Potion. So what will we see from Justin?
We should get player emblems to put on people for that.
Kind of like a poison marker, but a Quaking Punch marker.
Yeah, just a big shaky fist.
Like a hat. A hat that you have to wear if you got Quaking Punch last year.
Justin's already wearing a hat, so it'd be like hats for sale. That guy with in the children's book. Okay, so yeah, we're not going to see like a big secret sword or something. We're just going to see a Quaking Punch for 30. Okay.
So this could potentially last a couple turns.
So if Tristan was Frank Diaz, he would have the Lysander because he'd be playing 3 or 4, in addition to his like million escape ropes.
So we do just see a Quaking Punch right back from Tristan. He doesn't play another card. He does still have that Computer Search in his hand, so at any point that Justin does not Quaking Punch.
I mean, Tristan's just up by so much. Like, Justin has to dig himself out of this hole, and they're at parity right now, as far as like board position.
So we see another Quaking Punch.
Yeah.
Yeah, at this point, Justin... The first part of the game, Justin was really just trying to stabilize. At now, Justin's trying to think where he can get his prizes from, and it's not looking good.
Justin's gonna get a knockout on Seismitoad.
Huh. Okay, so trump card.
Okay, so now Tristan has access to 2 Lysanders again.
Yeah. Without VS Seeker.
Without VS Seeker.
So I wonder if Tristan has a Juniper or a Chorus in his hand. To try and get it in the next couple turns, or if he's just going to try and bank on drawing it.
One of the neat things is that Tristan is actually locked out right now of playing Evil to all EX, even if it would be good for him just because his bench is full. And he can't preload it with energies. That could turn out to become favorable for Justin. Okay.
You see the Stoke Charizard.
Does 120?
For 4 energy. And then you discard? Discard an energy?
Discard an energy, so he can discard a fairy.
Right.
So looks like Justin has decided he wants to KO that Seismitoad right away. And he's going to do it with a Pokemon he doesn't care about. Using Secret Sword is a liability because now you can get hit with status effects and they don't have to like do any kind of workaround.
Okay, so if we do see this Charizard come up, then provided Tristan draws an energy or a Lysander. Oh, okay, we do see an N.
Okay, down to 2 for Tristan.
2.
So
this could actually turn the game around.
So Justin could be ruining his own life here because Tristan just traded a bunch of cards in his hand that we knew were not those 2 Lysanders for cards that could be those 2 Lysanders. I think this is like the Monty Hall problem, but I'm probably only saying that because someone posted about it on Facebook recently.
Yes, I think that was Doug.
That was Doug.
So Tristan's hand is EZ and Eviltal.
So Ultra Ball also does it now because he can Ultra Ball for Jirachi for Lysander.
Correct, but he only has 2 energy on the Darkrai.
Yeah, oh, that's right. That's fair.
So actually, I think this is the situation we were just talking about, where since Tristan doesn't have an Evoltol EX, he doesn't really have a great response to the Charizard.
So he can't. Yeah, he also can't even like get the energies off Darkrai, right? Because AZ is not like Super Scoop Up. He's gonna lose the Dark energies. He's gonna lose the Muscle Band. He can retreat and just toss a baby Evoltol in the path of Charizard.
I think that's what he's gonna have to do.
Charizard looks so happy, man.
That is a good-looking Charizard card.
Yeah. I hope if you're out there watching this, you're that happy.
I don't know why you would ever play the full art.
I forget what it looks like. Oh, is he just like floating, sort of?
Just kind of flying.
Yeah.
So we see the max potion from Justin. Justin's been
Justin's
waiting for this
tired.
turn for the entire game. He's going to go crazy with these item cards now.
Or he'll play 2 despite it. Spirit Link.
If he has another max potion on that Seismitoad, I think it's going to be really hard for Tristan to stay in the game.
I really agree. And it just goes to show that sometimes you have to like fight uphill, and then it doesn't even matter in the case of Tristan. Like, this is not a favorable matchup for Tristan. Tristan did everything he needed to make it go his way, and the train could be off the rails.
I'm still not sure if playing that trump card was the correct play, just because you put so many dead cards back into your deck. Yeah. And we see that's kind of what happened when he got End. I mean, he drew the AZ that he played earlier, he didn't, assuming he only runs the one.
Right. To some extent, I'm inclined to like trust Tristan on it, just because I think the person sitting there playing the game has the best sense usually of what resources they've used and which ones they need back, and
I agree.
That plan. Yeah.
I definitely don't disagree with that. All right, so we'll see a Turbo Bolt, which will knock out the baby Evoltol and put more energy on the field, putting Justin down to 1 prize and a really commanding board position. Tristan really needs something huge off the top of his deck in order to stay in this game.
If he played Bicycle, I'd feel better for him, but I don't know. I haven't seen one from Tristan yet, so not a good feeling. Because it means it's tough for him to top deck the supporter for like a function like Lysander and additional cards to make it effective.
Right. The good thing is, the only thing Tristan really does still have going for him is that Justin really has no way to one-hit KO either the Darkrai or the Mewtwo next turn.
Yeah.
So that might give him an extra turn to draw out of this.
Justin's field is full. Justin doesn't have a way of getting an Evoltol EX into play and putting all the energies onto it for an enormous knockout.
And Justin does play an Evoltol EX.
He does.
Okay.
It's a full art one we discussed in the freeze game.
Okay, we do see a Chorus from Tristan for 9.
That's pretty big.
So we'll see.
Anything could happen.
So we could see, I think from Tristan's perspective, you want to see Laser, Verbank, Dark Energy, I suppose.
And not that it does it here, but this is one of those scenarios where I'm just like, oh, if I only played one Pokemon catcher so I could get that coin flip. I'm not fooling anyone. It would be Tails. So I wouldn't get to switch Pokemon.
Okay, we do get the Dark.
Okay.
And Night Spear damage probably has to go on the Seismitoad, right? And we do see Verbank.
Yes, because Seismitoad will be vulnerable next turn
to a Night Spear.
But maybe he puts it on the Keldeo. Okay.
Interesting, to the Spritzy. So it also sets up a Lysander knockout with the Aromatisse and the Spritzy. But we see the Lysander and good game.
It took us too long to even speculate.
So, yeah, as Jimmy said, everything really was going Tristan's way for a long time, but the matchup is just very, very, very difficult.
Yeah, I'm a really firm believer that having a good turn 1 is just super important. Like, whatever deck you're playing, whatever matchup you're playing, if you start doing well in turn 1 and you're not disrupted, hey, you're still doing well turn 2. But other times things just go off the rails a lot more easily.
Yeah, the first couple turns in this format are so important. It's been that way for a couple years.
I agree.
I feel like it wasn't always quite as important as it has been past couple years, and I don't feel like it's as important this year as it was maybe in the past couple, but still very important.
One of the things that we don't really see anymore is setup Pokemon. Pokemon who have an attack for one or maybe 2 energy that they're going to get you going. They're going to draw you some cards, search for some bench attackers, defenders, whatever. I don't know how to feel about that, but not my decision. Pokemon's doing a good job of making things interesting, so we'll let them keep at it.
Hey, well, maybe now with Kyle working for Pokemon, we could see the return of Dunsparce Sandstorm.
Our buddy Puka is working for Pokemon now. Super happy for him. So one of the weird things that a lot of people who don't have an extensive amount of tournament experience won't be feeling here is that Tristan's at not a severe disadvantage just because of the matchup. He thought he had control of a game and dragged it out and wasted all that time to lose. If Tristan was behind the 8 ball the entire time, just had no outs, he would have conceded and saved himself some time with which to win the series. Now it's not so feel good. So Tristan has double colors, which is good. I don't think I saw a Seismitoad.
I don't think so either. I think he started in Evoltol EX.
Okay, looked like a dark Pokemon.
Now they do have 75 minutes, correct?
Oh, I wasn't aware it's 75.
I'm not sure.
I think it might only be 60.
60? Okay. All right, so he does start Darkrai. He opts that over the Evoltol EX.
Good move.
Which I think is smart.
Yep. So we know his Jirachi is not prized. That's good news.
It's good news for Tristan.
It's good news for Tristan because he didn't start with it. It also means that his Ultra Balls are live to become interesting things later.
Yeah, especially with tech supporters like AZ.
Yeah, AZ empowers Jirachi in a lot of ways. Lysander does it. Trump Card does it.
Did you prize your Jirachi at all today? Or you played 2,
I
didn't
played
you?
2.
Ah, you sneaky man.
I prized Jirachi a few games, and I just used the other one.
It's one of the great things about running a deck like Flareon.
Yeah.
Alright, so we see a baby Evoltol. Looks like he's debating whether he wants to Ultra Ball, and he will.
I think he has a bike in hand, so my previous criticism of he doesn't play bike is gone. He's going to generate some additional cards. Hopefully a double colors for his Seismitoad. Oh, he's going to draw 4 with bike. Yes.
So let me ask you, the Diaz brothers were debating this morning whether Acrobike or Bicycle was the better play in Evoltol. Do you have an opinion?
So I have terrible luck with Darkrai decks, which sounds like such a scrubby thing to say, but I don't enjoy playing them because I don't do well with them. I have tried both in Seismitoad, and my opinion is the least helpful one, which is play a mixture. I've been doing Battle Compressor, Random Receiver, both bikes in various counts, and maybe I just enjoy the act of drawing cards, and this is actually not strategically what is best. Who knows?
All right, so we see a Juniper from Justin. He gets a Spritzy and not too much else. Looks like a handful of supporters and a Rainbow Energy. So we'll see if Tristan goes for the Quaking Punch again. I mean, I still think it's his best strategy.
I think it is. So, and Tristan discarding a Dark from hand agrees.
And he's just discarding those Evoltol EXs. That's 2 so far in the discard.
But he's going to trump card them back in if he feels they're important later. So, aha, yeah, the trump card's great.
But in the meantime, it doesn't risk giving up 2 prizes to the dreaded.
Yeah, it's not going to sit on the bench to get Assault Lasered or Power Bolted. Bolted? I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know what it is either.
I played the deck in many cities. And of course, I cannot remember what it does.
Right, so we do get the.
Ooh,
that's very big.
Huge escape rope here.
I wonder what his escape rope count is.
It's at least 2.
It's at least 2? Okay. We're seeing more and more Evoltol players play 2, 3 escape ropes.
So Justin just top decked a Spirit Link like precisely too late. I think he's got a fan club, so he's kind of pigeonholed. I think he has to get 2 Spritzies.
Hopefully one of them's not prized.
Yeah.
Okay, he has not.
I couldn't imagine when people were playing like Aromatisse and it was like super popular that some people would only run 2 Spritzies.
Yeah, that's crazy.
It gave me the chills.
Is Justin's line 3-2, I assume?
I've seen 3-2. It could be 3-3.
Okay. So it looks like we'll see an Assault Laser, which is really, really strong against this Seismitoad here. It's gonna.
Yeah, like what Seismitoad? He's gonna try and poison you with a laser. and hope for the best. But one laser is already gone. One Verbank, I think, is already gone. I don't know. That might not be true. Well, there's at least one Verbank that matters.
Now this is a scenario where AZ would be interesting. I don't know if it would be the right play, considering you discard the DC and the muscle band, but it would at least be interesting.
Yeah, I feel you on that. Well, so if he had AZ, what he'd be able to do is he could bounce the Seismitoad, send in the Darkrai, retreat for the Seismitoad, not attach a new muscle band,
right,
and just reduce his incoming damage. But if laser flips go his way, you know,
maybe it won't matter.
This Manectric might not be long for this world. Yeah.
Right, so Tristan ends himself down to 5 and Justin up to 6. You know, I think Justin's probably pretty happy with that. His hand wasn't all that great.
It was a hand he was going to Juniper away. He's likely to get a hand that's just as good or bad. And it's better.
Yeah, even if only slightly. It is better. So does Tristan get the laser? This is the big question. I know there's at least one in the discard that he had to Ultra Ball away.
Balled it away.
Doesn't look like it. Oh, okay.
Now at that stage, he got rid of the laser and kept the muscle band. What if he'd done the opposite? What if he said, "Hey, I wanna risk the flip. I wanna risk getting lucky by playing the laser and not keeping the muscle band, because maybe I'll draw another muscle band later, but the damage now from the laser is something I can't get back."
Right. It's an interesting way to think about it. Do we see? We do see the heads.
Ooh.
I saw a lot of.
Sorry, we can't use a poison can. We must use a piece of paper.
I did see a lot of heads tails today, especially in Frank and Sam's matchup. Sam flipped quite a bit of tails on sleep flips, but not Justin though. This guy can flip heads. Alright, so we'll see an N from Justin. I think Justin's in a better position than he was last game.
Yeah,
for sure.
Big time. Like what even happens here for
Tristan?
For Tristan. So best case scenario, Justin misses any playable cards, and then he gets the knockout anyway, and so he's gonna have 8 cards. Tristan's gonna use Darkrai to get the knockout, because Tristan will have an energy out.
Right.
And
then he needs to
And
end.
then the game falls apart for Tristan.
He does have the energy. He has a Jirachi, so he can end. He might have it anyway.
The fact that Tristan is like hard committed now that he is not going to go the Quaking Punch route anymore.
Yeah. So he's got to hope this Darkrai stays alive for a little while. So does he does get the knockout on... Oh, he needs a muscle band, doesn't he?
No, because it's still poisoned.
Oh, okay. Oh, right.
Yeah.
Okay, so he'll get the knockout and he will put Justin down to only 1 energy on the field, so that Evil Tall cannot respond. 20, 40, 60, 80, 100, 140. So he cannot respond with a knockout, I don't think. Unless Justin plays Muscle Band, which, as you said,
I don't believe he does. So one of the things that interests me about Justin's list, especially given our Toad heavy meta, is that Justin's not playing a Verzini X.
Interesting.
So I think it's just a good puncher against Seismitoad. It's resistant, they're weak, but also that you're gonna prevent the poison damage from ever being a factor.
Right.
So your Seismitoad can be on the bad end of the trade and still win.
I wonder if I imagine from Justin's perspective, he was choosing between Keldeo and Virizion.
I agree. So many people feel like they're choosing. I didn't, but I'm not sitting in top 8 for a reason.
Did you play both?
When I played the deck, I played both.
Okay.
It was both a hedging against prizing one. It was also trying to situationally choose which one might be better.
Okay. That makes sense. Alright, so he's playing a Fairy Energy, which means he's not going to do anything more than overrun this turn.
He could get lucky and hit the Geomancy guy.
Oh, yes.
And Geomancy Xerneas is actually resistant to dark, which is cool.
If he does get the Geomancy Xerneas, I think he is in a pretty commanding position. We see a Seismitoad. So we could see a Quaking Punch, though.
I was just handed a deck to watch from the other game that just finished. Nick Chimeno just beat Frank Diaz, so Night March has made it to the finals. Based on last round, if Justin makes the finals, we would have reason to believe Justin will become state champion.
Yeah.
But let's see what happens here first.
So just a little preview while we're watching. I did play against Nick Chimeno in Swiss today. I lost to him. I ended up misplaying, I think, to lose in game 1, and then game 2 he got a turn 1 win. I started Lucario. I went first, and he got 5 Night Marches with Pumpkaboo. But his list is interesting. He does play Muse. He runs Metal Energies and a Cobalion EX.
That sounds really strong.
That was his answer to Seismitoad EX, which won't really matter regardless of who he plays, Tristan or Justin.
Oh yeah, because they're not running the linear Seismitoad that other people are.
Correct.
So many, for those of you who are unfamiliar, a lot of the Seismitoad style decks run maybe 7 energy total, 4 of them being double colorless, and double colorless is special energy. So Cobalion EX, for almost no cost, can eliminate it from play. Yep. And while people can deal with that here and there, they cannot deal with it every turn, as Cobalion will force them to. Also, Nick is probably playing Mew EX, who's going to be copying the Cobalion. So Nick goes from playing 1 card to try and fix his matchup to having 4 cards, maybe, that could fix his matchup.
Alright, so we do see the Muscle Band and a... Ooh, wow. Ooh. Tristan looks like he just played his entire hand and then Junipered.
High five, right?
There you go. So I wonder if he'll go for the Quaking Punch here, or if he'll just try and beat him down with Darkrai. He is doing...
I see the merit to Quaking Punch.
I do too. He would have put 140 on that Manectric if he did Night
That's a magic number, though. Yeah.
Yes.
But it could have been max potioned away. That is the downside.
And Tristan does have 3 prizes left now. It looks like
Tristan has 3 left. So
he will be looking to kill this Manectric, and
yeah, looking to kill the Manectric and I guess the Spritzy.
Yeah, hopefully the Spritzy.
So Justin's got 4 prizes. Justin is probably looking to KO the Seismitoad and the Jirachi. Are those his best?
Yeah, either Seismitoad or Darkrai, and then Jirachi.
Only 1 real attacker,
if possible. But remember, Tristan does have the AZ once again. I keep bringing that up. Yeah, AZ could really could potentially save that Jirachi from death.
So what's great about AZ too, as far as what it does to Justin's perspective, is that normally you want to save easy knockouts for last. Take the eliminate my opponent's attackers as soon as possible. Oh, Malamar.
This is the first time we've seen Malamar in this series, and we will see a Malamar Quaking Punch, which...
This is as strong as it gets for Justin, I think. He looks so relieved. Like, oh good, my deck works.
Oh, and we do see a Tails from Tristan. This is... oh, and we see a Pokemon Center Lady.
Whoa. Bang, bang. That's huge.
That is huge.
So, heals up to 60 damage and gets rid of a status effect. Granted, it's going to happen again next turn. It's not like this is... like, it's going to happen again next turn, and Tristan, I'm gonna go on a limb, does not have a second Pokemon Center Lady. He might not own a second one, for all we know. Like, it's a one-of, and your Versus Seekers are going to become the extra copies.
Alright, so we do see the sleep again. Hopefully Tristan will not... Well... From Tristan's perspective, hopefully he won't flip Tails 2 times in a row. Justin really would like that.
When we say hopefully for this or that, make sure we're clear. We love both these guys, and we could be happy for either one of them to win. We definitely get moments where we're excited for one deck to do well, or for one player to get their break, though.
So something that we haven't talked about too much is the presence. Oh, we do see another Tails. Unfortunate for
So
Tristan.
25%.
Yeah. So something we haven't talked about too much that I think is pretty relevant is the idea of stadium wars, especially in this matchup. So
Yeah.
I assume Tristan only runs 2 Verbank. That's what I've seen. And Justin presumably runs 3, maybe probably 4 Fairy Guard.
3 or 4 is standard, yeah.
So he's going to win the stadium war
Mhm.
at the end of the day. And I feel like a lot of this format has... There's a lot of matchups that end up coming down to a stadium war.
I like when it's good for everyone to run their own stadium. Verizian Genesect lately has not been in a good place with stadium wars. That Silent Lab is bad for them. Fairy Garden doesn't do anything. The Dark one doesn't do anything. They're not playing lasers for Verbank to do anything for them. They just got the short end of the stick, but they're a fantastic deck.
Right.
Tristan has a stadium. Justin has a stadium. The Night March decks have their stadium. This feels good. I bet, despite the fact, one of the things that makes Stadium Wars interesting too is AZ.
So, would you have AZ'd the Seismitoad there
Probably.
rather than the Jirachi? I
So
am curious as to that play. I'm sure Tristan had his reasons for it,
yeah.
but that is an interesting play.
Yeah, I entertain the notion of going in with the Mewtwo and getting the 80 on Seismitoad. But yeah, no, 80 on Seismitoad is pretty strong actually, because then you can follow up with a Darkrai KO.
Right.
But there's also just the risk that the Mewtwo gets put to sleep and sits there.
All right, and the Seismitoad is still sleeping, but no longer.
Okay.
All right, Tristan has awakened.
But one of the things I was going to say with Stadium Wars is Lysander's trump card means both players could have an infinite number of stadiums.
Right.
Versus Seeker's going to recycle the trump card.
So you were talking about Virgin not being able to run too many stadiums. We saw some interesting variants of Virgin today. Some people ran Virgin with Verbank Laser.
Okay.
We saw some people run multiple Plasma Frigate. Is that the stadium?
Okay, so
like
yeah, Plasma
3?
Frigate, when you have a Plasma Energy attached, you have no weakness. So it means that you're able to accelerate up your Genesect with a Colvis Machine, perhaps, and then not get knocked around by fire guys like Flareon or the Charizard that Justin's running, or Pyroar. I don't think I saw any Pyroar, because Pyroar is not a good meta choice right now. And, thanks for recognizing that, everybody.
So we'll see another energy on the Mewtwo.
It just gets bigger and bigger.
Yep. And Quaking Punch back. So what's the damage? We have 100 on Justin's Seismitoad and I believe 90 on Tristan's? Maybe?
Yeah, I feel like the dice are too transparent for me to tell what's going on. I can't see around Tristan in real life either. I didn't realize that the full art Seismitoad was letting me know whose turn it was. So that's hopefully a helpful tip for some of you. I was like, oh yeah, cool. Justin's deck is more expensive. Oh, who's been punched? Oh, thank you. Though that was the player marker that I mentioned before. Yeah, thanks to shout out to Chibo.
Punch. So Justin is do you rearrange your discard pile? This is a question that I've been asking.
I dislike rearranging my discard pile unless I have plans on shuffling it.
Okay.
And I really dislike people rearranging mine.
Okay.
I
guess I asked because that's precisely what Justin just did.
Yeah. So in that scenario, depending on how much I like my opponent, I might then shuffle my discard pile during their turn. So one of the reasons I think that we as a community should avoid shuffling or rearranging discard piles is because in the event that something goes wrong, it's important for things to be in sort of the order they happened to try and rebuild the game state. If you're trying to destroy the record of the game state, I think you're up to something. And if you just happen to do it, well, why do you even need to?
Right. That makes sense. It does become, I think, a little bit gray area when you're playing things like Flareon.
Oh, yeah, Flareon and Night March and stuff.
Right.
Oh, Malamar.
So we are going to see probably an Eve.
I think it's a Y-Cyclone.
Okay.
So if Justin isn't getting Quaking Punched, Justin can play the game for much longer than Tristan.
Yeah.
And
We will see.
oh, never mind. He's
Evil Wall.
just gonna get the knock. Evil Wall. Okay, so there's 3 on Evil Tall, and there's 3 on Mewtwo. So if Mewtwo gets another No Callus, it'll be 100 from Mewtwo and 60 from Evil Tall, and we're talking a Muscle Band
Or a laser.
or a laser away. If we knew that Justin played a Mewtwo EX, I'd feel super comfortable for him right now. But much like the Keldeo Virizion, he probably doesn't play both Evil Tall and Mewtwo.
Right.
But he could.
He could. I'm inclined to agree with you though that he probably doesn't have
It's
both.
probably a trade-off.
Now, the more that I think about Justin's deck, it's extremely interesting. It's really a hybrid of a lot of the fairy decks that have been seen play. It's
Yeah.
got part of the Seismitoad Malamar. It has part of a Manectric, and yeah, it's quite an interesting blend.
So in some card games, they talk about decks being just mains, and it's just, oh, I play a lot of good cards. That is really what Justin's deck does. It's, oh, this is good, and this is good, and like, I guess the weak link is Spritzy Aromatisse, but they just make everything else so much better that you deal with it. Okay, so
we do not
Tristan?
see a DCE for the knockout. And we'll just see a
So-
pass.
I'm confused by that play. Why would he not attach a Dark to his active
An Oblivion Wing.
and Oblivion Wing for 30 and put a Dark onto the bench? There might be no Darks in his discard, I don't know. But Oblivion Wing being able to attach an energy card from his discard pile to one of his bench guys, it's like going neutral even if you know you're going to get the baby Evil Tall knocked out. Again, this is a different art that Tristan has in play versus the art that we're showing on screen for anyone who might be confused.
So I can't see how big Justin's hand is.
It's
Decent size.
6 or 7. It's pretty good.
It doesn't look like he has a Lysander though.
So Ultra Ball, 2 dead cards away, Pokemon, Fan Club, and something else.
Probably doesn't. He's not going to really
Getting
need anything.
Xerneas.
But
So it could be if he's going to Juniper that he's
Yeah.
getting stuff out. If he's going to Colress, he's just got 3 cards out. Oh, he's got a Keldeo in hand. Keldeo, Xerneas. I think he has a Juniper and a 4th card now.
this is a close game.
Yeah.
As usual, Justin is being very thorough with checking Tristan's discard pile. He saw most of Tristan's deck in the first game, so he's probably made a good mental note of most of his counts. That's something that separates the good from the great players in my
I agree
opinion.
with you. Something else to keep in mind is Justin's playing a deck that Tristan probably hasn't practiced against.
Yes.
But you know, Tristan's good enough to realize like, oh, this is good or bad for me, and it's not that good for him. But Justin has probably played against decks like Tristan's before,
Many
and
times.
he's probably got that experience. But he hasn't been playing as much this season. His grandmother says he doesn't practice enough. That is a real thing. That's not me making fun of him. So he's learning a little bit as he goes, and to sit there and do that feels fantastic. I've done that when I haven't been playing as much, particularly the States run. But so just every game Justin plays, he's going to get a little bit better.
And he's already pretty good.
He's already pretty good because he's sitting here in the semifinals of New York State Championships.
It seems like he made a really good call today for the metagame.
I totally agree.
There wasn't a whole lot of straight Toad today, and that's kind of a rough matchup for any fairy deck.
Oh, and here pops up the full art Seismitoad because Tristan is quick and punched.
All right, so we did see Justin draw the Lysander, I believe.
Yeah, so Justin's got, I think Justin has game in hand.
Yeah. That's it.
Yeah.
That'll be it. Congratulations
Congrats
to
to
Justin
Justin.
Bokari. So we will see Fairy, Manectric, Seismitoad, Malamar versus Night March with Cobalion in the finals of the New York State Championships. I wouldn't have thought that.
Yeah, no, I would not have guessed this. I have a tendency to guess the finals matchup we've previously seen from whatever happened last week is going to happen again. I didn't look at every state. This happened nowhere. I can confidently say that. Nowhere.